Forget dewy skin. It's no longer about a healthy, luminous glow. Now, apparently, it's all about laminated skin. Yeah, you heard that correctly. Laminated, as in saran wrap or cellophane over your face. Laminated, as in sweaty, moist, like I just walked out of the shower. Oily prone people, it is time for us to shine, or my eczema psoriasis people, it is time for you to slather on some products and go out into the world and just call it a trend. We're gonna break down what this trend actually is, why it's absolutely ridiculous, and who it might actually be right for. And then if you want to do it, there's actually a two-step technique that I've created that focuses on skin health. So it helps to even out the texture or any unevenness in the skin. And then you can go over the top with some lamination. And again, we got a lot going on here. So how did this trend start? Well, it's accredited to MAC makeup artist Terry Barber. The idea is to bring out that glowiness and like beyond dew, like sweatiness. And when we actually dive deeper into this, it's not just about a makeup trend or a skincare trend. This is about the consumerism cycle, the cycle of marketing, of fads. And what happens when you put an E at the end of fad? It becomes fade. A lot of the runway and fashion and makeup worlds circle around these trends, around fashion. And it's literally about getting people to obsess over something that is in and reject what is out just to spend more money. And then a couple of years later, everything repeats itself. Mom jeans are back. The same thing happens with skincare. I remember when I was struggling with my acne at its worst, the trend was to have mattified skin. You did not want oiliness, and being naturally oily, I just hated my skin so much because of its texture, but it just wouldn't stop producing oil. And now, dewy skin is the trend, and now laminated skin is the trend. But trust me, give me another 5-10 years, we're gonna flip right back to having this mattified skin. Things come and things go. And if we can understand and be aware of it, we can know that we don't have to chase it. And that being said, if you really like a fashion trend or a makeup trend or a skincare or hair care trend, and you're doing it for you and not someone else, have fun with it. It's a great way to experiment. If you want to play into the trends, go for it. We just don't need to make people feel bad because they weren't naturally born with or could not naturally achieve the thing that is currently in, when in a couple of years that pendulum is going to swing in the other direction. So this trend is about that sweaty out of the shower look, and I have to say, Huda Beauty did it amazingly. She looks so good. Like, she looks so sexy. Like, I do have to say, I kind of like this look for the right time and the right place. If you are going out or making a statement, that is when you want to use this. Now, who else might want to use this? If you're oily and you're sick and tired of having people dictate how you feel about your skin, let the grease shine through. And then if you're someone who struggles with dry, patchy, irritated skin, maybe you have eczema or psoriasis, and a doctor or a derm or a medical esthetician working with a doctor or a derm has recommended something like slugging to you, basically using Vaseline or petrolatum jelly on your face, and you love the things that it does for your skin, but you've always felt self-conscious about looking laminated, well, now is your time to shine. Literally. So while this trend isn't right for everyone, I have broken it down into two major steps: smooth and then seal. We first want to smooth out texture, color, or irritation, and then we want to seal things in and give us that laminated, cellophane-wrapped, reflective glow. The smoothing step is all about evening skin tone and texture. We're talking about helping to decrease the size and the look of large pores, helping to mitigate scars or any unevenness or discoloration in the skin. Whereas the sealing step is all about that reflective, laminated glow. This is exactly where we want to add on both layers of hydration and moisture that gives the skin a dewy, misty, almost laminated appearance. The best way to do the smoothing step is by using exfoliation, specifically alpha-hydroxy acids. Alpha-hydroxy acids are great because they actually hold on to moisture and kind of pull it into the skin. These acids can penetrate really deep. They can actually break apart what are called desmosomes inside of the skin. You can think of them as like little nails that hold the skin together. You could use physical exfoliants if you want to, but I like chemical exfoliants because they exfoliate a little bit more evenly. And again, there's that extra bonus of hydration. Now, when it comes to alpha-hydroxy acids, there are many different types, but some are better than others depending on what you're struggling with. For example, if you are someone who has pretty resilient skin, glycolic acid could be awesome. This comes from sugarcane. It's a super tiny molecule and it penetrates super deep. If you're more prone to pigmentation or actual discoloration in the skin, I really like lactic acid. This comes from fermented bacteria and there are some great options. This one from Biossance is super, super potent, whereas this one from Peach and Lily helps to resurface but isn't quite as intense. If you are acne prone, mandelic acid is fantastic. This comes from bitter almonds. Face Reality is one of my favorites. The Inky List also has a mandelic acid spot treatment, which is really good. But if you don't want to use exfoliants and you still want to resurface the skin, you might like something like niacinamide or like retinoids. Retinoids are great for fine lines and wrinkles. They literally help your skin build new skin cells. And niacinamide is a B vitamin. It's fantastic, and it can stop the spread of pigmentation and actually help decrease the look of pore size and help to mitigate any gunk or sebaceous filaments that kind of get stuck in these areas. Because niacinamide is also an antioxidant, it's great for anyone who lives in a polluted city or is exposed a lot to the environment. I've actually listed all of these both in the description, and if you click that little YouTube button, if you like tap the screen, it pops up with all of these options. These are the ones that I recommend, and this is where you can find them at arm's length. But remember, this is just the smoothing step. This is to actually help what's happening on and in the skin. Then we need to go into seal. So we need to seal all this in and give ourselves that dewy, literally sweaty, laminated glow. For the seal portion, it is all about emollients and occlusives. We are talking about plastic wrapping the skin. And again, be warned, because this can feel kind of heavy. If you're looking for something that doesn't feel as heavy and still gives you a nice kind of sweaty glow, but that doesn't look completely saran wrapped, I would recommend something like a nice hydrating moisturizer that actually benefits the skin. This is from Mediture. This is the PSL moisturizer. This is so good. This has ceramides, fatty acids, cholesterol, and a lot of the things that your skin makes naturally, and then it's fragrance-free to help support a damaged skin barrier. This is good, but it's not overly thick. So if you're looking to get the benefits of the laminated skin trend and kind of get, you know, a semi-laminated glow, this is the answer. But again, we can get a bit more intense if we want to by using something like petrolatum jelly. This, otherwise known as slugging, is if you want to go full force. This is an occlusive barrier, not just an emollient, and a little goes a long way, but this will literally make you cellophane wrapped reflective. Like, this will give you that sweaty, dewy look. Overall, if you want to hydrate and nourish the skin, you should look for things like ceramides, look for glycerin, look like hyaluronic acid in combination with water, look for squalene. And then for that laminated look, that's when you want petrolatum jelly or petroleum jelly. Look for things like high amounts of glycerin in a product. Even shea butters, or basically anything that is just thick, like thick thickums thick. And then you can pair one of your smoothing steps underneath the seal step to get the entire look. Now there are some little hacks. For example, if you want to get the benefits without looking overly dewy but still hydrated, get one that combines the two. This is from Bubble. It is amazing. This is the Overnight Hydrating Sleep Mask. And yes, while it is a sleep mask, it's basically a thick moisturizer. This has things like mandelic acid in it, so it has this treatment step in it already. And then it comes out in this beautiful ribbon-like texture, so it still gives you that hydration and it gives you that semi-laminated look. Now on the flip side, if you want to look totally laminated, this is one of my favorite products from Versed. This is an eye balm, but it's basically retinol inside of like a thick shea butter petrolatum jelly-like cream. This is intense, and if you use a bit of this, this is what's gonna make you look like you just stepped out of a shower and that your pores are naturally putting in the work. As a bonus, you could grab something like a glycerin spray to spray across the face. This is basically going to put more dewy mistiness on your face, and if you really want like that sweaty, right out of the shower look, this is what's going to do it. This happens to be one from SOS Spray, or sorry, it's the Tower 28 SOS Spray. There are a couple of other great ones. Again, Bubble has a really good one if you want antioxidant support. Dr. Sandra Lee has a great salicylic acid spray if you have acne, but overall, this is what's gonna give you that misty look. Now, you can't just stop there, because once you have these products on your face, we have to talk about usage and practicality and whether or not this is a good or bad trend. And where I come from, struggling with acne personally, seeing the trends and the pendulum for what it is, and also being a medical esthetician who helps other people understand and embrace their skin, I focus on skin health. I focus on understanding the skin and embracing it. And while I do like that this trend gets people to recognize and appreciate more oily skin, I don't know how practical this is going to be for everyone. How do you really apply sunscreen in this? You would have to put your sunscreen underneath and then like seal it in with Vaseline. It's probably going to be very tacky. I noticed that like I stick to not only my hair, but I stick to my shirts and my clothing as well when I try this. And if you hate that feeling of hair in your lip gloss, well, this does that to your entire face. Furthermore, if you live in a really cold climate, this can be rough, because have you ever walked into the cold with like wet hair? It's like it freezes and it's uncomfortable. If you have a thick moisturizer or a thick occlusive barrier that's not absorbing into the skin and you go out in the cold, this could actually make your face really cold and just be uncomfortable. Now, if you're indoors and you're using this like in a nice, warm, cozy environment, this this could be really nice. And again, for those who have really dry skin, this is going to be amazing. And you're probably already doing it if you're really struggling with something like eczema. And if you're oily, this can be a godsend because it's helping you embrace your natural beauty. But for the majority of people who are struggling with acne or have a skin concern or just want to focus on skin health, this might not be right. And remember, chasing these trends is not going to make us any better, any healthier, even any more popular, which is what a lot of people I think are looking for, is validation. So please remember that you are enough, just the way you are. I, as your acne big sister, love and appreciate you. And it's important to understand our biology so that we can appreciate our biology and not fight against it. Because I also feel that, you know, as women and men and non-binary friends, we are so often tying our worth to our appearance or our worth to what we have. And that couldn't be further from the truth. We are intrinsically beautiful for who and what we are. And if we can use something like this to feel comfortable or take care of our skin or have fun and embrace it, then great. But if you're just using this to try to follow the trend, to try to be a part of the pack and do something that you think is going to make you, a better person in society's eyes, society just wants your money. Society just wants you to be insecure. Think about it, the beauty industry would not exist the way it does if we didn't have insecurities. So if we can stop being sold on our bodies being bad naturally and just embrace and love them for what they are, oily and laminated or dry and mattified, we can start to embrace ourselves and to understand and embrace our skin too. If you are looking to get skin benefits from this, I would say the best use is at night. That way you can stick to your pillowcase and not to like people when you hug them, or try using some of the dual products so that way, A, you're saving money, but B, you can actually work on the texture underneath the skin and focus on supporting your skin barrier instead of, just following a trend or feeling overly greasy throughout the day. Overall, always remember to stay hydrated both orally and topically. Reapply that SPF every day, which again, one of the other reasons I don't love this trend is because how do we reapply SPF over thick, gooey petrolatum jelly? I've listed all of my top picks that are vegan, cruelty-free, and that actually have ingredients that work. You want to click that little button that we still don't have a name for. And overall, remember to be beautiful both inside and out. Regardless of what your skin is going through, learn about your biology and learn to love it. I love you, and I cannot wait to see you in this next video. Love you guys. Bye. Oh, itchy. Oh my God, that's another thing, is that this fucking itches. Oh, something about like Vaseline on my face. I'm just itchy. I'm an itchy bitchy.